Hi, this is Miss D at D Special Things. Just wanted to give you a little tip. Someone asked me about the folio that I made. I call these pocket inserts because that's how I learned to make them, and that's what they were called when I learned to make them. Well, the question they had was, how do I keep my cardstock from tearing? And the tip that I'm going to give you, I learned the tip from Kathy Orta a few years back, because we had put this book together, and after we finished, the book started tearing on the binding portion. Well, Kathy told us about, it looks like this. It's called Tyvek. You can get these. Matter of fact, I'm not telling you to run to the post office and pick a bunch of these up, but I picked them up because when I send out my packages, I want to have it ready to send out my packages. But this is called Tyvek. You can cut it, but it won't tear. They use it to wrap houses when they're constructing buildings. They use it to wrap buildings with it, so you can understand how strong this paper is. But it's these bags right here, the Tyvek. So when you get the bags, you might want to hold on to them, repurpose them. What I did was, when she told us about this, and this was a few years ago, I went to the Staples and I bought a box of them. They're quite pricey, but yeah, I knew I wanted to use it because after you put a project together, you don't want it to come apart. Well, this is how I did it. Depending on the size of the, I'm making a 5x7 folio, and it only has a 1-inch binding. Depending on how many pages determines the size of your binding. Well, mine is 1 inch because I'm only putting like 3 pages in there. What I do is I cut a strip, because my binding is only, my spine is only 1 inch. I am actually using a 2-inch strip of the Tyvek. I make sure there's a 1-inch strip in the center, and you might want to allow an 1/8 inch on each side. I fold it. I put a piece of tape on it in the center, and I take the spine and tape it down the spine, and then I tape this on either side of it before I cover the book, before I put the cardstock on, and I end up with something like this. This will allow your cardstock to not tear, because now the Tyvek is what's holding your spine together and not the actual cardstock. So when you put the cardstock on, you have a very sturdy book that will not tear. Now, what you can do, you don't have to use Tyvek here. I use Tyvek because that's what I was taught. You can actually use duct tape. Duct tape serves the same purpose, to put your spine together, and it'll serve the exact same purpose. But that's what I do to keep my cardstock from tearing, and it will not tear. Yeah, so yeah, you go ahead and you construct the book as you learned it, but the Tyvek is what will keep your binding together. Okay, that was just a little quick tip. It's not a tutorial, really. It's just a tip on how to actually keep your cardstock from tearing like this. Because once you put it on there, the force of the bend is not on the cardstock. It's actually on the Tyvek that you put in there. Okay, so that's my little tip right there. I went ahead and did this because I was putting some books together. Someone did ask me to do a tutorial. I usually don't do a tutorial if it's out there, and I'm not doing it any differently than the person that did the tutorial. So I'll just put some links below to a tutorial that would be good to use, a couple of them that would be good to use for you to make these little pocket inserts. Okay, our little, now they're calling them, they're actually making them little folios by themselves. So yeah, I'll call them photo folios. Yeah, so that way you'll, if you're trying to look to see how to do this binding, it'll come up. Okay, so I hope that little tip helps, and thanks for watching, and talk to you later. Bye bye.